I think a lot of what local government does is behind the scenes, and we appreciate, but we don't really know what our local government does. And to know that they received this grant, that they were awarded this grant, and what they did with the grant is a way that benefits not only local government, but every single resident within the Village of Glendale Heights. If you ever received a grant or had a big win within your community and you wanted to celebrate that win, but you weren't sure how, and you wanted to also increase community engagement. My name is Krista Waske. I'm an analyst for the Village of Glendale Heights, and today we're going to talk about the Hug a Tree campaign. The village was granted an urban forestry grant, which allowed them to do a village-wide collection of their tree data. They'd never had their tree data accessible to the public as well as forestry. This was a big win for the community, and they partnered with Graph to finish their tree inventory. When the tree inventory was completed, we brought it into the local government data model, so us as GIS analysts could analyze this data and provide visualization on the tree data within the community. After this was completed, the Green team decided that they would like to make the public aware of this initiative and celebrate the tree inventory that they had just gathered. In collaboration with Arbor Day, they thought it would be a great time to put together a Hug a Tree campaign. The first step in the Hug a Tree campaign was to identify trees that were huggable. Now, what makes a huggable tree? For the forestry department, this tree needed to be at least 20 inches in diameter to wrap your arms around it, and they wanted 10 different trees in 10 different parks. After these trees were identified, we put them into a story map. It is a simple map with the 10 trees and the 10 different parks identified. And you can see in the map here that we have all 10 trees with their species identified. If you click on a tree, you'll get information on where the tree is located, as well as their common name and their scientific name. In order to encourage people to get onto the parks, they put placards on these 10 huggable trees, and these placards said, "Please hug me," with a QR code that went directly to the story map. And it went actually to the direct portion of the story map for that tree. After we identified the 10 trees, the forestry department got to work by naming these trees. And they wanted to make this story map family friendly, so they chose fun names for the trees, like Red and Hank and Stinky. And then they also put together descriptions of the trees, descriptions on how these trees benefited the community as well as the environment. The goal was to get people to visit these parks and to go and visit all 10 trees and learn about all 10 trees. And if they did, they got a prize at the end. As soon as they visited all 10 trees, they had to answer 10 questions about each tree. So far, we've had 60 people complete this. And again, this release was released on Arbor Day, and they're holding up this until the end of October. Every single participant gets a certificate to go to the hub, to swim. So it is another way for the village to engage with the public and get them out to village-owned properties, the parks, as well as the facilities. So why did we choose a story map for this solution? There's a few reasons why we chose a story map. It is a simple solution and it is quick for us to spin out. And it's also a low time commitment by staff. Maintenance is non-existent. Since this is already up, we're not changing the data, we're not changing anything behind the scenes. We simply had to send an export of the participants to public affairs every week to award the prizes. Quick and easy, and these are solutions that are already at our clients' fingertips. There's no additional licenses, there's no additional software that they have to purchase. So how do you want to engage the public? Do you want to celebrate? Do you want to make them aware of where their money is going? The answer to local government is yes to all of these questions.